right. Welcome back, boxing world. Oh man, how do we begin with all the shit that's going on? Let's talk about what's true and what's not true. First of all, welcome back to my North Live and Direct. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do that. Hit the like button, comment if you like the content. Let's talk about what's true and what's false, right? What's not true. What's true, right? And I'm talking about this is the aftermath of Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And I just want to begin with how the boxing world has changed due to Ryan. He's changed it forever. And me saying that, right? I mean, it used to be that when you held a championship title, and it didn't matter which one, right? WBO, WBC, IBF, whichever. You were side A. You called all the shots, right? You took the higher end of the purse. All of it, right? What size the gloves are going to be. What size the ring is going to be. Who comes out first. All the rules, right? I mean, you had to be fair, right? B side also has some things. But, I mean, you had the majority of the decisions because you were champion of the world. You were most popular. Today, that's changed because of two. It's not just Ryan, but it has to do with the internet, social media. But Ryan has found a way to utilize that, right, to his benefit. And now to many, like for the future boxing, for many people, if they utilize it correctly. So you got to do the things that Ryan has done to be the A side if you're not the champion, right? If you don't have that clout, if you don't have the fan base. We're going to talk about what's true in the aftermath of the Devin Haney-Ryan Garcia fight and what's not true. What's true is that Ryan Garcia was the A side, even though he wasn't the champ, right? And they allowed for that. Bill Haney and Devin Haney allowed for that. The reason there's a few reasons for this, and I mentioned some of them in my previous video uploads. The reason for that was one, because Devin Haney is the champ, but he's not a very popular champ. You know what I mean? He's got some sort of a fan base. I mean, there's a lot of Haney fans out there, and they are loyal, let me tell you. They're some of the most loyal fans in the world. That is a fact. And we're going to discuss that as well. But, yeah, he did it. He did it for multiple reasons. One in being that he needed to make this fight happen. So a lot of the things that were negotiated were for the benefit of Ryan. I mean, truth be told. So he came in the A side because he was the more popular person in the fight. Not only that, Devin Haney was looking to absorb some of that fan base from Ryan. I'm not making this up. These are real things. Right? This is why Mayweather told Ryan Garcia, you shouldn't even fight Haney. You don't need him. He needs you. Right? So that was one of the reasons, right? There was not even, how about this? There wasn't even a negotiation for a rematch in any of these negotiations. Ryan doesn't have to give him. You would think, right, that if you're the champ, right, if your team is the championship team, that just in case you lose this title, there has to be a rematch clause, no matter what. That wasn't negotiated, right? So a lot of things that were done here that really raise an eyebrow, a lot of questions. And the reason we got to ask these questions is because generally The Haneys have been great at the negotiation table. But I think it's, again, I think it's because Devin has taken on less popular fighters than Ryan, right? George Gambosis. I mean, we know him for one fight. Does anybody really? I mean, the kid's not a terrible fighter, but he's not a great fighter. He's not even close, right? Which is the reason why Devin cherry-picked the guy, because he was the unified champion, just beating Teofimo Lopez. Do you understand? So, I mean, and that's the fight we know George Gambosis from, is beating Teofimo Lopez, which was, you know what? I think he deserved that win. I think Teofimo just underestimated the guy. It wasn't Teo's night. Getting knocked down, what was it, second round, right? Then being, picked apart with jabs all night. I mean, it was ugly. But Devin has literally picked his opponents, ones he knew he was definitely going to come in bigger than on fight night. See, Devin's played the same game Ryan did. Same game, right? Come in at weight professionally, right? Because Devin is a professional. We're not gonna take away from what Devin is. Devin is a true professional. I think he lacks a few things professionally. I mean, skill wise, and that has now been exposed by Ryan. But what we're gonna see, I think the world looked at Devin Haney, right? Like the new Floyd Mayweather, the flashy, pizzazz and the jewelry, the lifestyle, the cars, his record, you know what I mean? The kid was on the rise. I mean, that's no joke. But he has fought lesser popular guys, not as credible. Regis Prograis, right? Regis Prograis, when you looked at them two together at the weigh-ins, Regis Prograis was a way smaller guy. So we all had to know that come fight night. I mean, if you were that small to Devin Haney at the weigh-ins, you had to know that Devin was coming in way bigger than Regis Prograis. And he did the same thing to George Gambosis. He did the same thing to Lomachenko. You understand what I'm saying? And none of them guys, right? Let's just be real. None of them guys have any pop to their shot. None of them guys. George Gambosis can't hit hard. Lomachenko's not like a big hitter. You understand? You know what I mean? So I think there were so many mistakes that were made here to fight Ryan. Ryan was, I guess you want to say, his Achilles heel. You know what I'm saying? Ryan's bigger, faster, stronger. And Ryan had really nothing to lose. He had everything to gain. If you think about it, Ryan had everything to gain. And to further that, right? Because now that the fight is over with, we're seeing a bunch of antics with Bill Haney. We haven't heard much from Devin, which is kind of, I mean, what's going on? Right? You would think you would hear from the champ. You know what I mean? We've heard little things here and there on Twitter. I'm okay, alhamdulillah. Right? I don't have a broken jaw. Right? And I want to fight. Now all of a sudden, he was humble in the ring after the fight, saying Ryan was the better guy. He slept on his left hand, slept on everything he did, really. Right? Now he's saying in Twitter comments that, he wants to fight Ryan at an equal weight. A lot of this sounds like, and I don't, I am a big Haney fan, so I don't want any Haney fans to try to hate on me for what I'm about to say, but you can't complain after you come into the weigh-ins, right? And Ryan is not going to be in shape for the weigh-ins. He's not going to make weight. And you know how we knew that, Devin? Because you were so quick to put a wager on it the night prior at the press conference. Quick. You were like, I'll bet you I'll bet you 500,000. Actually, you bet him. Ryan made the wager of 500,000. You upped it to 500,000 a pound. You were so confident. I mean, I'm not making this up, right? We all saw the same thing. You were so confident that he wasn't going to make weight that you took that bet. Which, if many of you don't understand, that meant they had to renegotiate terms, right? They renegotiated terms that Devin agreed to. So once you do that, you can't come back and complain about it. You can't come back and make any comments about it. It is what it is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You must have been so emotionally driven in this fight, right? Negotiations, you were emotionally driven. In the fight, you were emotionally driven. I mean, this fight has cost you a lot. A lot. And I know that, coming up to the fight, a lot of people were downing Ryan. They didn't even think he was mentally stable to be in a fight, never mind a fight of this magnitude. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he fooled the world. Meanwhile, there were myself and a few people who were questioning that. Like, I'm not sure if he's really mentally unstable, but more like he's trolling. Right? And we know that now because you see Ryan after the fight talking professional, being professional, no more antics. In fact, he admits it. He says, I had all this planned out. Some of these things you guys seen were pre-recorded weeks prior, almost a month or two prior, because he knew what he was going to do.
From Kevin. Okay. And he's the only guy that texts me this, because everybody's texting saying what's going to happen to the fight, okay?
Right.
It's 11:46 Eastern Standard Time. He texts me, says, Pat, Ryan Garcia is about to pull the first ever social media rope-a-dope. You heard it here. Meaning, he's telling me that you trolled the entire world with the fight.
Yeah,
so was this all an act? What part of it was real? Tell us about it.
I mean, my cameraman Chance, Ajay's there. Hey, we have it pre-recorded months ago. What did I say was gonna happen? I said I'm about to make sure everybody thinks I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Watch, it's gonna be called the Great Escape. Like, I have it all documented. I was already planning it, weeks and weeks and months behind. I don't know what made me come up with the idea, honestly. I just, one day, just decided just to go all in and just commit to a plan that I had. And I was not going to budge for nobody. It didn't matter if I went on his podcast, anybody's podcast. I was acting like sporadic, like just like crazy. I would go on
your mannerisms,
spaces,
you were just like
spaces. I would do this with my nose. Like, it's just a tick. I had everything but then you make adjustments too. What was real though is at times I did drink a little bit during camp because I like to drink.
Yeah. So we got a lot of different things I want to ask you about, a lot of different questions, a lot of different topics. And what's so funny is we just had you on the podcast 2.5 months ago, and a lot's happened obviously in 2.5 months. So you ever seen the movie Primal Fear? You guys ever seen Primal Fear or no? You've never seen Primal Fear with Edward Norton. Who here has seen Primal Fear?
I like Edward Norton.
Edward Norton is a sick guy. He's one of the best. Primal Fear, it's a movie where Edward Norton plays two personalities. Oh. And he fools everybody. And at the end of the movie, he claps for Richard Gere, okay? Do you feel like you fooled everybody with this whole thing? So, and if yes, you think you can do that twice? Because the second time around, people are going to you can only do that one time. You can't do it twice.
No, you can't.
You think you can?
No, for sure. I just got to, let me cook. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'll go into like I'm super disciplined narrative, or maybe I just act even crazier. Maybe I take it to a step too far, maybe. Or maybe I make it look like it's a step too far. Who knows? We never know.
You ever read 40 Laws of Power? You ever read Art of Seduction? 33 Strategies of War? Did you speak to Jake Paul? Did you talk to Conor before? Did you watch something that inspired you to want to, change your approach of marketing for a fight? What got you to say, I'm going to take a complete different approach with marketing this fight?
Well, it was just basically, it kept on unraveling itself. If I'm being quite honest, it was more of it wasn't so much like my idea. It's like more of just wisdom coming from God, and then I just made adjustments as I went. Like, I would have these strong, I guess, feelings or just urges, like from like Nick's from the Holy Spirit to do this, do that, do this, do that, and then like God always cleaned up everything that I was doing, because I felt like on the one side there was like I had the enemy pushing me to do certain things, and then I had, God, and then it was just like no matter what happened, God always made it right. So I would have to give all the credit to God and the wisdom of God and the Holy Spirit, for sure.
Kudos to him. I mean, he really did play the work. He played me even to the point where I was questioning. You understand? He played some of the best in the world who analysts who all said, we don't think this guy should fight. The commission was ready to cancel this fight over this. So, Devin and Bill, I don't see where you guys even have a leg to stand on to be doing and saying some of the things you're saying and doing. I really don't. I'm lost. I'm lost with what's being said. I mean, look, the kid's 25 years old, right? Going on 26 years old. I kind of don't respect. I'm from the old school of boxing and the sport, right? If a fighter took a loss, listen, a lot of fighters come back from a loss, especially championship fighters. You know what I mean? Guys who've been champions. They know what it takes. I mean, that doesn't happen for everybody. I mean, once you're going downhill, you're going downhill, but normally that happens when you're older, like Roy Jones. When he first got knocked out by Antonio Tarver, it was hard for him to make that creep back. I mean, he got knocked out multiple times after that. I mean, it was ugly. It was sad for me to see, because he was the Michael Jordan of boxing for me. I mean, I grew up. That was my favorite boxer growing up watching, other than Tito Trinidad. So like I believe Devin has what it takes to come back and be a champion. I think he's got some major changes, adjustments to make. Now, I'm not going to tell you which ones I think he should make, or maybe I should. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of clear as day, though. You know what I mean? Like, after the fight, we have him in front of a cake with rockets flaring on this cake. And his whole family and entourage is around singing "And Still." And still. Devin, do you really feel like you are still the champion? I mean, that was like adding insult to injury. Ryan, I almost, there's this gut feeling I got, right? And maybe because I'm just aware of things and I read between the lines and who knows. But I have this funny feeling, and I heard it the other day, and it made me think that Floyd Mayweather, supposedly, allegedly, I don't know how factual this is, but I heard it from multiple sources, that Floyd Mayweather told Ryan Garcia to come in overweight. Now, there could only be a few reasons for that, right? Because Bill Haney and Floyd Mayweather, for some reason, have been having this battle with each other. They're not getting along, they're arguing. Right, and it's maybe it's mano a mano, who's the Don of boxing. Bill definitely has mentioned that this is the death of the Mayweather era and the birth of the Haney era. And we all know how Floyd Money Mayweather is. He wants to be relevant. Whether he's a sanctioned fighter or not, right? Whether he's ranked or not. He's still fighting. He's still doing exhibition fights. He's still making more money in exhibition fights with people who we don't even know sometimes, right? Than majority of the boxers out there today. Matter of fact, probably all of them. Probably all of them. I don't even think Canelo's bringing in the same money. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Floyd don't even need to work that hard to fight these guys. He doesn't have to train for 8 weeks, 6 weeks to take on any of these guys to make that kind of money. I mean, he's kind of mastered the game, if you ask me. But back to what I was saying, I really think, I just have this gut feeling. I'm sorry if y'all disagree with me, that's okay. But I have this gut feeling that is true. Mayweather probably did say, coming overweight. And you know why that is? Why I think that is anyway? Because if Ryan is going to beat Devin Haney, and he did badly in a very amateur-looking-ish fight between the both of them, Ryan got the better. It was to allow him to keep his belt, because that hurts the pride more, doesn't it? Like what? Like, how do you get to say at the moment, yeah, well, I didn't lose my belt, but when you actually think about that a little deeper, it's like, wow, I have a belt and nobody respects that. Nobody respects that. Everybody thinks I shouldn't have this belt, and they're right. Ryan is the champion. Ryan lost that. He gave that up. This is true. By the rules of boxing, that is true. He didn't come in and wait. He paid the fee, the fine to you, right? $1,500,000. I get it. But as a man who has earned his way to the top, becoming undisputed, right? Then getting the WBC. You know, it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't know how I don't think I could do it. I really don't think that I could sit there and say, well, I'm still the champ. I don't think I could have an entourage around me cheering and still, and be proud of that and like confident about that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me. I get it, it's the rules. It is what it is, but I mean, I'm looking at what's being done. I mean, we haven't even heard from you, Devin. Couple, maybe just one. Actually, I honestly think only a tweet. Only a tweet. And it sounded a little baby cry-ish. You know, I just feel like I guess I expect more out of that team. You know what I mean? Watching you guys grow and becoming what you've become, I think I expected more. You know what I mean? I picked Devin to win the fight. You know, but now we know, right? I mean, when I look at Devin fighting his other fights, I mean, he picked these guys apart. I mean, Regis Prograis didn't stand a chance. I mean, he got beat up all night. I mean, we were looking at a masterful performance. He made it look so easy that it kind of, I guess Devin did the same thing Ryan did, just in the ring. You tricked us to thinking you were this, I mean, superb fighter that honestly we couldn't see anyone beating you. And then this happens. So Devin definitely needs to work on some things. There's some very basic things too, like boxing 101. You know, Floyd Mayweather made a comment about it with his jab being a bow and arrow jab. Like every time he threw the jab, it's like he brings this back here, and it's boxing 101. If we're boxing, you're right here. You keep that hand right here. Every time you jab, you snap it. You know what I mean? And even if you drop it a little bit, when you do jab, you bring it up a little higher, so that left doesn't. You know what I mean? If you were training for Ryan Garcia, I mean, the left hook monster, that's what you would, you understand what I'm saying? So I'm just confused how an undisputed champion who then moved it up in weight to become the WBC champion right away, how do you get caught with that many left hooks over and over? And then, you know, Ryan's not a bad boxer. He has skill. But if you watch, and I keep saying this, Brian has a lot to work on too. That's why I'm saying it's a great thing he's with Devin James, because they can address those issues as he moves on, and you know, to fight other championship fighters. But he has a lot to work. Like the footwork definitely needs some improvement. Head movement definitely needs some improvement. But even finding his range, you know what I mean? Like. I know me saying this, when you guys go look at the fight, you're going to say, what is he talking about? But I know what I'm talking about, right? This is why the fight wasn't more of a technical fight. You know what I mean? It wasn't. There was almost no game plan for either one of these guys. It was emotional for them both. I mean, even to the point where Ryan's like giving his back. You understand that Devin, some of your biggest punches were the ones to his back when he was giving it to you. I mean, I don't know. But Ryan has most certainly changed the game moving forward. I mean, I've never understood that. Like, I mean, excuse me, I don't understand it now. But I'm starting to get it. You don't even have to be champ to be the A-side. You just got to be the bigger purse earner, the one who brings in more money. And I guess that makes sense with the times that are changing with internet, social media, all that stuff. I guess that makes sense. But it doesn't. You know what I mean? You're not the champion. So a lot of mistakes were made here. A lot of mistakes. And some of those changes that I was talking about with Devin's team, I mean, I think we all know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I think after watching you lose the way you did to Ryan, we all know now you need to level up your game. And so the only way you're going to do that is how? Come on, y'all. Y'all say it for me. It's okay. Right? You got to switch your trainer. You got to go to someone else to learn something new. Because if I'm in your corner, you know, it really did sound like your father was pressuring you to go for a knockout almost. Like you know, like he wanted you to hurt him, Ryan, when you really don't even have the power to do that. You were drained the night before at 140. I mean, yeah, you looked a lot better the night after. Obviously, you know, you hydrated yourself and ate a lot of stuff and you got bigger, but you were definitely not the bigger, stronger guy. You don't turn your punches enough to deliver the power. Do you understand? When you throw a hook, that elbow's high, your body's into it. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, not some winging fuck. You know what? I don't know. I'm not giving you boxing classes. That's for another day. I'm going to charge you for that. But you know what I mean? Like, the changes need to happen. And they need to happen, like, fast. You know what I mean? You can't have a bunch of yes men around you. You got to face reality here. And the reality is you are the champion. And I hate even saying that because you're not, but you are. And moving forward, you're going to fight. You don't have a choice in the matter. Because you're champion, you either have a mandatory or you got to fight another champion. In other words, you got to fight nothing but top 10 guys. I'm curious if you're going to be able to overcome this and go into the next fight confident enough to retain that title. And depending who it is, right? Styles make fights. We all know that. But I'm curious. I think it's going to depend on your surroundings and how much you put into this with heart, dedication, right? Because I know that you have the will. We seen it. You got knocked down 3 separate times and got back up. You were hurt multiple times and kept coming forward. We see what you can do. Your will is there. Listen, Devin, you're a fighter. There's no doubt. You got the skill. But this kind of thing can tarnish a fighter moving forward. I mean, I almost would have rather you cancel that fight. You know what I mean? Like, I almost would have rather you just say, you know what? I'm not going to put my title. I know you guys wanted to make the fight happen, but if I'm a champion and I worked this hard to get here, and this guy's acting a fool and, you know, not respecting the game, coming in overweight, antics after antics after antics, I'm not putting up my title to fight this dude. I'd much rather just take another fighter, and they had one for you on the same card. You know what I mean? Like I don't. I'm very curious and uncertain why a lot of this happened. This was basically the perfect storm to derail you guys, and it almost seems like it was planned. You know what I mean? Some mastermind put this together and just derailed your whole train. It's what it seems like. I'll just be totally honest about this. Like, this was. Is Ryan that smart? Is he that much of a genius with the social media to, I know Bill Haney and Devin say, yeah, they weren't fooled. We've been training hard and focused the whole time, but the results don't show that. They don't show that. You were definitely fooled, 100%. You fought emotionally, and you got caught with that left hand in the clinch and outside the clinch. And your father's, I'm going to just be honest, man, your father's not helping you. After the fight, it seems like your father has become more of the celebrity than you. You're losing more and more popularity the more your father comes to the front line to defend you or to like battle for you with other people like Mayweather or Ryan. And God knows there's so many people just in this. So many people are attacking. This fight was so big. And even the aftermath of the fight is still lingering 9 days later. So much to the point where it's overshadowing the next big fight, which is a mega fight, right, of the year, that we get to experience with Jaime Munguia and Canelo Alvarez. I know that fight's, a week away? And hardly anybody, I mean, they're talking about it. It's going to be sold out. You could rest assured that. Mexican against Mexican. Young fighter, undefeated, coming up. Talented 33-year-old Canelo Alvarez, who's been a champion in multiple weight classes. What was that? 5 different weight classes, going all the way up to light heavyweight, and taking his first loss there to Demetrius Bivol. Dimitri. We got an unbelievable, like a monstrous, exciting fight coming up, and this is still kind of overshadowing that. This is the big story still. We're still talking about this. I mean, I'm shocked. I really am. It makes Devin Haney look almost like a child. Like you can't. I don't know. I don't know. Very lost with all of this. But you know what? Again, I think it's great for boxing. What happened? I mean, moving forward, again, Ryan holds all the cards. He proved it in this fight, which is weird because Ryan was still the social media star that he is today when he fought Gervonta Davis. And for whatever reason, I mean, Ryan brought in he was more popular than Gervonta Davis, but for whatever reason, Gervonta Davis was the A-side. And do you see, like, Ryan learned something from that fight, the negotiation tactics, just the antics alone. He learned something. Because he brought it over here into this fight, and he had something to prove, and he did. He proved it. And I also think a couple other factors played into this as well. Like, for instance, you guys fought 6 times, 3-3. So the knowledge of each other's skill set is there. I mean, granted, you guys have grown in the game and leveled up multiple times to the point where you're now the best in the world, but I don't even know, I can't even say the best in the world. I'm sorry, I have to take that back. You know what I mean? But you're at a level where you can compete with the best. And you guys definitely fought an emotional fight. I mean, this gives Ryan Garcia a ton of motivation and weight going forward, where he's calling out Errol Spence Fondura, Isaac Cruz. I mean, Ryan, I hope Devin was one thing, and I honestly, I'm gonna just be. I already admitted it anyway. I didn't pick you to win this fight, and you know what? My bad, because I kind of forgot who Ryan Garcia was. I forgot what you had learned from that Devin Haney fight when you came in to fight Oscar Duarte, and you did what you did with him. That was pretty. Ryan had learned a lot, and I just, that he played such a great mental game. We forgot about that Ryan. That next fight, Ryan, that, brought all the lessons he learned into that ring and knocked out Duarte. So, yeah. But again, I still believe Ryan has so much to work on. And I don't think, honest to God, I don't think it's going to take him long to learn some of these things, but to master them and to be able to apply them in the ring during reaction time. You know what I mean? Real time. It's different when you're in the ring. You can do it outside the ring when you're with your coach and you're doing an exhibition fight or hitting the bag or the pads or the double M bag or whatever. Yeah, you can do it there, and you could think to yourself, nah, you know what? I've gotten good at this, but until you have to actually apply it in an actual fight with real reaction time, we'll see. And you're calling out guys like Errol Spence, who, let me tell you, I'm pretty sure it's come to your mind. I don't think you're a dumb guy, but Derek James worked with Errol Spence his whole life. You've been with Derek James 2 years. So coming into that fight, you got to know that Errol's going to know a lot of the things you have in your playbook. I'm just saying, though. You know what I mean? Again, that left hand is a whew. That left hand is a monster. It's God's gift to you, and it's powerful. And if it lands, I definitely believe Errol will be hurt, right? But you don't think Errol's going to do his homework on this fight? You know what I mean? You don't think Errol's a great fighter just because he lost to Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? In the fashion he did doesn't mean he's a bad fighter. I mean, Terrence Crawford, both of them guys at the time were the best of the best. And if there were any time that we could not pick a winner, like someone who was going to win, that this was a 50-50 split fight, that was it. You know what I mean? So again, you know what? I'm happy I brought that up. It just came to mind. But that fight mimics this fight, right? Errol Spence, who no one conceivably would have ever thought that Terrence Crawford was going to have such an easy night, just demolishing Errol Spence the way he did. From round 1 all the way to, what was it, round 8, 9? I mean, it was masterful and it was brutal at the same time. We're still questioning how Errol's going to come back from that. I mean, we see him walking around, we see him looking good now, but he's not chasing Terrence Crawford anymore. He walked away from that negotiation table. And I guess, that's another thing I gotta ask. No one really I don't think anybody really wanted to see that fight for a second time, based on the way Errol lost. You got wrecked, brother. Right? And that's not to make fun of you or diss you, but that's a fact. It was a total mismatch. So I have to ask myself, right? Because I know that the Haneys are now asking for a rematch and believe they deserve a rematch with Ryan, but I think I've heard, I've heard two different things. I've heard people want to see it. All the Haney fans want to see it. I'm sure they want him to get his lick back, but does the general public, the other fans want to see it? You got wrecked in the same way. Basically, they just went 12 rounds, not 9. You should have been knocked out. That ref played a huge, huge role in your demise. He did. And there's question about that too. I'm glad I brought that up. It's all coming to mind now. Like there's audio of Bill talking to the ref. And you know what's funny? When I was watching the fight, I heard that conversation. It was in the locker room, if anybody can remember, where the ref is in the locker room with Bill. And Bill says to him, we want a fair fight, man. He's saying things subliminally so that the ref understands, look out for my son while you're in there. I'm not going to make any accusations that the ref had any wager on the fight or if Bill Haney was giving him any extra money on the side. I don't know. But the conversation definitely doesn't sound right. Sounds like you were petitioning for that ref to be more, favoring to Devin than Ryan. And that's kind of how it looked. I mean, because round 7 was ugly. You should have been knocked out in round 7. That count was extra long. And he helped you up. So there's just a lot that happened in this fight. And I think that's why it's lingered for so long for us to talk about, because there was just so much drama, coming up to the fight, to fight day. We had 6 weeks, 7 weeks of antics of Ryan. And then we get to weigh-ins and there's more antics, and then we get to the fight, and then it's mayhem. Great fight. Let's not take away the fact that it was a great fight. This was by far the greatest amateur-looking fight I've ever seen in my life, and they made it look good where it didn't look too amateurish. But to those who know, you know what I mean. It wasn't. You know what I mean. If you're a boxing fan and you study boxing the way I do and the way any of these other guys who are fanatics do, you know what I'm saying. There was rabbit punching. There was wild. Obviously Ryan got the best of all of that, but just the back turning and I just. Why didn't Bill end the fight? Why didn't he throw in the towel for his son? There's two ways to think about that. Because if I'm training my son, and I've gotten my son to the point where he has accomplished being a unified champion, and now he's in multiple weight classes being a champion, I'm going to give my son the benefit of the doubt too. But, you would think that eventually, the beating he took from round 7 up, and maybe even some, I gave Devin, honestly, after round 1, I gave Devin round 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe even 6. This is why the fight was so close. If not for those 3 knockdowns, and then, Ryan really needed those to win. And he got them, and he won. I think, and that's another thing. Jesus Christ, we can keep going. One of the refs had this fight completely. It was off, but now that we know, right? Now that we know, we've actually had somebody break that down for us, because the ref wasn't so far off. You see, you got to understand there's 3 refs and they see things 3 different ways. I think they got it right. Ryan won, but to understand that ref honestly didn't get it wrong. He just viewed it a different way. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I thought Devin fought a more textbook. He looked like the better boxer, is what I'm saying. He looked more sound in there. You know what I mean? He's always comfortable. He's always right, but he just fought emotionally. So a lot that happened, and everybody's in a frenzy in the aftermath. Tim Bradley, come on, man. I get that you and Ryan don't get along, right? He's told you to, right? He's said you're a jerk, whatever. He's called you up multiple names, and you've actually been professional and not responded in that manner. But I don't think you're giving him his credit, and you said it. You don't like the guy. You actually said that. You do not like that guy. You called him a cheater, right? You said he's unprofessional, and you know what? He acted very unprofessional. I don't call that cheating, though. There was no cheating going on. The guy's not biting ears. He's not headbutting. He's not, you're saying he cheated because he came in at 143, but then after Devin Haney agrees to fight this guy at a higher weight class, the terms have changed and they're accepted. So we can't have outside sources talking about this and debating this. You're a professional. You're actually a Hall of Famer. And sometimes I debate that, but why you should be. I don't think you beat Manny Pacquiao. I don't. That was a very controversial win. And I don't even want to get into you because this is not about you. But, I just think that, and the reason I even bring up Tim Bradley is because you add to the fuel with your comments. And they're not true. You know what I mean? Like, the kid didn't cheat. He just played a game, and you know what? Side B, fell for it. They accepted it. And it's a shame. It really is. I don't know. I don't know what happens now with the Team Haney, because like I said, Devin's got some real changes to make. Honest to God. I mean, you either tell your dad to cool it, right? With social media antics, right? Arguing with Floyd Mayweather. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that conversation with Floyd Mayweather and Bill Haney? Check this out.
I've been knowing you for hella long, but I feel like you're a bullshit ass nigga. You see what I'm saying? Okay. That's how I feel like it. Me, myself, personally. You know what I'm saying? By your act. And so, let me tell you, by your act. Wait. That's cool. Wait, PB, you wanted me to tell you? I feel like you're a bullshit ass nigga based on your actions about everybody that's been in the town that's been down with you. You dig what I'm saying? They doing dirt ball bad. Ain't nobody doing real good fucking with you. You dig what I'm saying? Now, you told me that you was going to show me what you can do with Tank. You always kept telling me, Tank. You see what I can do with Tank. Listen, brother, you see what I done did with my son. That if you really, that's what you really been whispering. But when you went to go talk and do the deal, it wasn't something that he felt like that he wanted to get no monthly. He wanted to be a boss. So the deal didn't happen. But I mean, I don't want you to sit up and talk like you like some hellified nigga. You've been doing some hellified shit for the streets, or like you done been there for me, or like we 100% high level. Nigga, I take care of everybody around this motherfucker. I take care of my son. And you've been hating on me for a long time with that shit. You've been blocking like a motherfucker. You know you have. But listen, yeah, what you mean, huh? What do you mean, huh? What the fuck you mean? You won't even stay. You'll look at you. But I'm saying this, though. Everybody that I got something against, or just like you said, I'm gonna say it to their face. And you know that's the kind of nigga I've been. Listen, you've been carrying that bullshit that you've been doing for nothing, nigga, and I'm not gonna kiss your ass. Nigga, you know I'm not gonna kiss your ass. Period. Hey, Bill. And listen, for every nigga, Mac, Bill, you had the floor. Listen, I'm saying, Mac, Bill, when can I get the floor? Bill, when can I get the floor? Okay, I'm gonna let you get the floor. Whether it be Mac, whether it be S-Mac, whether it be all the bad niggas, whether it be my nigga from up the way, from Oakland, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. Nigga, a lot of niggas. You know what I'm saying? So you popping it. So, nigga, when I pop it, what's the problem? Because other niggas don't pop it? You know what I'm saying? You pop it 1,000 times. Nigga, you was talking about that sparring shit. Nigga, you beat niggas up in sparring. I didn't watch you beat niggas up. And when my son got down on you, you dig what I'm saying? You act like, you tell us, Bill, if your son is undefeated in the gym, congratulations. Congratulations that you got an undefeated fighter in the gym. I'm not. That's not it. I'm the under the light fighter. That don't lie. I got a nigga that don't lie, nigga, 100% of the time. Nigga, can I ask you a question? Bill, let me ask you a question. Yes. What's my record under the lights? What's my record under the lights? I'm going to tell you, but listen, what's your record in life, nigga? No. Yeah, get nigga, down to it. Yeah, what's my record? What's my record in life? Nigga, what's your record under the lights? Nigga, every 50 of your opponents my record in life is undefeated. Nigga, listen, huh? You said what? You said in life. My record in life is undefeated. Nigga, come on, man. What are you talking about, your record in life? Nigga, who you talking to? Who you talking? You trying to tell these people that you don't take no L's? Nigga, you take L's around this motherfucker. I done took L's. Nigga, my son took L. Nigga, we take L's. What the fuck you talking about? You keep running around this motherfucker acting like that you the only one like this shit don't stick. When somebody died, when you lose a loved one, of course we take an L. You just took an L. And when I'm not talking about in the ring. We're not talking about in the ring. And I remember this, Bill. I ain't never been in no ring. I've always been respecting that podcast 50-0. Nigga, I'm 50-0 in these streets. Nigga, I got love in these streets. Nigga, fuck your 50-0 with that boxing shit, nigga. That shit don't mean nothing. Bill, we ain't gotta have a pistol contest. Bill, I ain't gotta talk to you crazy. You know why? I just pissed a little bit longer than you, nigga. What you talking about? You started pissing. I started pissing. Nigga, what are you talking about? Bill. I called to find out what is your problem with me, because I don't have no problem with you. I'm for the streets, nigga. Do something for the streets, nigga, and then I'll be cool. I'm cool. I'll stop saying something, nigga. If it was some hellified street niggas that was up around you that say, nigga, he got us, then nigga, I'll be, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I talk shit, but I don't mean nothing. I'm just doing some comedy shit, my nigga. So I don't just like you. It's just comedy shit, my nigga. Bill, is me and your ultimate goal is to help our kids go to the next level, or is our ultimate goal is for us to go against each other? You tell me. I don't know. I mean, are you helping your kids? I don't know. You know what? You can see my work. You can see my work. You see what I do. You dig? You come up in there with that slow drag talking about that 50 and 0 under the lights. Nigga, fuck the lights, nigga, and that 50 and 0. You know that shit don't mean nothing in the street. If you ain't really pushing that line and your kids all right in these streets, nigga, you a hoe ass nigga. You see what I'm saying? Nigga, if your kids ain't walking around and they mobbing in these motherfucking streets, nigga, and they all right, nigga, then don't nothing else matter, nigga. Bill, it's not about the streets, Bill. Bill, it's not about the streets. That's why you got out the streets, Bill. That's why you got out the streets. I learned from my dad not even be in the streets. But listen, I ain't coming up in no suburbs, Bill. Listen, I'm still in the streets. Listen, I'm still in the streets, and if I see your kids, wait. If I see your kids, wait a minute, nigga, if I see your kids in the streets, what you mean? I'm just seeing your kids in the streets, nigga, and told somebody, nigga, back the fuck up, leave your kids alone, nigga, because I'm a thoroughbred street nigga. And you know your kids be in the streets, nigga. They can do whatever they want. Squares. But they squares. Yeah, you said they'll do whatever they want to do, you clown ass nigga. What you mean your kids can do it? And you got $150 million. I didn't say that. I said when kids just said that they can do whatever they want to do. When kids get to a certain age, they're gonna do what the fuck they want to do anyway. Nigga, what are you talking about? Everything, nigga. You buy them bitches everything. How you can't buy your kids everything to stay in pocket? Nigga, lame ass, nigga. Why are you worried about what I'm doing with my mom? Now you pocket watching? Nigga, I'm a thoroughbred nigga. You already know it. Now you pocket watching? Bill, I don't give a fuck. Bill, pocket. You shouldn't be worried about. You shouldn't be worried about what another man doing for a woman. What you said? No, doing for a woman. You said, nigga, you know I'm a nigga. I've been around this motherfucker deep. I ain't never been knocked. Nigga, you ain't been in my business. What you talking? Your money ain't spent with me. Nigga. You in my business. You bringing up my name always. No, what I'm saying is I'm talking about with the bitch. You ain't never got mine. You know what I'm saying? So what are you talking about? We've been in this business. Pocket watch. I ain't never had to pocket watch. Nigga, with you. Because the bitch ain't never came in and told me you was doing that. Fuck you talking about? What I'm buying? Bill. I ain't buying a motherfucking thing. I said, nigga, if you can buy something for bros, wait a minute. I said, if you can buy a lot of fly shit, you can buy your kids freedom to do whatever the fuck they want to do and walk around this motherfucker proud because they came from a boss. Bill, I want to tell you something, Bill. When kids get to a certain age, they're gonna do they're gonna do what the fuck they want to do. And when kids don't want to listen, that's when you disconnect yourself from them. Period. Well, I don't care what it is. Guess what, PB? When you got real niggas that's in these streets, that's real men, and I see that they're your kids, and I tell them, and I tell the streets, hey man, listen, that's not good. They don't need to. Do you know whose baby that is? That's a Mayweather kid. That's what I say. But you don't know. No. But they don't say that shit. Huh? Hello? Yeah. You don't even say thank you for that, my nigga. Bill, let me tell you something. You don't even say thank you for that, though. Floyd, I'm saying you don't even just say thank you for that, though. That's because you're a rotten ass nigga, my nigga. You always talking about some money and shit. That's what I'm saying is you can't fuck with me. Bill, we not even on here talking about no money, Bill. Bill, we not even on here talking about no money. This ain't even about no money. This about me talking about who did? You did. You brought the money up. You talking about what you can do for bitches. You brought the money up. I said what we can do for our kids. I said what we can do for our kids. Bill, I said the same thing. Was I riding the Rolls Royce before my son? Was I riding the Rolls Royce before my son? Bill, I want to let you know something. Nigga, knock it off, man. Don't nobody want to listen. I'm not gonna keep rapping. You know, me and you don't even be doing all this motherfucking shit. I'm not gonna keep rapping with you, Pete. You know what time it is with me, man, and I'm gonna keep pushing this family line, man. Welcome to the family. Tell me, it's the handy business, and listen, it's gonna keep on continuing. You need some help? You need some help with your son? Have I ever needed your help for anything? You need some help with your son? For some help? You need some help the other motherfucking night? You need some help the other motherfucking night? Oh, nigga, listen, your son need help. help tonight, nigga, not the other night. Your son needs help tonight, you fool-ass earth man. Your son needs help tonight. Your daughter needs help tonight, you fool-ass earth man. Do not campaign. Everybody needs. Listen, my son needs me today, tomorrow, and every day. Guess what? So does yours. If he need me, I'm gonna be there for him. No, if he need me, I'm gonna be there for him. No, nigga, you was just popping slick, and I pop back at you, crazy fool. Yeah, if he we don't need you for dog shit. What? We don't need you for. And then guess what? Shit. Anytime I ever talked to Devin and helped him, Devin, guess what? It was all total love. Period. It don't sound like that. It was. It was off love. Period. It don't sound like that. But you know that. You know that. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, people. Now you got my number. Call me direct so we can talk on the phone. No.
None of that made sense, did it? If you really pay attention to what Bill is saying, he's, what do we call that? He's fast talking. You know what I mean? He's. Do I even want to call it that? You know, he's just saying whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that there is some, because you can't have a conversation with somebody and be talking about something completely different to what that person's talking about. Obviously, there's sense being made, but he really honestly brought up some things in like almost like a gaslighter. You know what I mean? Like a narcissistic conversation. Like that's kind of what it felt like. You know what I mean? It's what I heard. You know what I mean? Just amazing. Just amazing Bill's behavior after the fact. And I really do think Devin needs to, if Devin is the boss like you say, Bill, you need to take some constructive criticism from your son if it happens to come. Because I know you guys are tight. I know you guys are loyal to each other. You came up in the game. You know, that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. But a lot of times that doesn't work out. You know how many fathers have trained their sons to the point of being a champion or to the point of being a very recognized professional fighter, and then something happens. It doesn't work out. It happened with Floyd Mayweather. It happened with Roy Jones. It happened with De La Hoya. You know, it happens. It happens. So, you know, maybe this is just one of those times. I mean, there's success stories with father and son. And look at Tito Trinidad, never had a problem. You know what I mean? Like Teofimo Lopez and his father I guess they don't have a problem. They look like they're a problem together, but between them two, I guess they look okay together. And I guess this can be okay too. It's just, if you want to come back from this loss, you're going to have to make some changes. Teofimo Lopez lost his undisputed to George Kambosos. You know, he didn't make any changes, but he came back from it, and he's still the cocky fighter he is. So maybe, I don't, you know, we're going to have to wait and see how Devin approaches this. I think no matter what, it's going to be difficult. You know, I send a shout out to you, man. I really do hope, you know, that you're able to make those adjustments. And you know, I don't want to see the rematch with that. I don't think you could win it. How are you going to do it? You know what I mean? Are you going to go higher in weight? Because it'll be easier for you to make weight, but you still can't deliver the punches. You're going to have to put in some work to deliver those punches. And I still don't think, like, I don't know. Like, as you go up in weight, you lose speed. Sometimes, not all the time, but I mean, sometimes that equals out. It's a touch and go thing. I just, you know, you've never been a hard hitting fighter. You don't have that power. Sure, you can develop some things, learn some things, but is it going to be enough? Because the more higher you go in weight to fight Ryan in a rematch, the heavier he gets too. The harder he hits too. And he's already like lightning speed, blinding fast. So I'm just curious. I'm curious how this plays out for you. You know what I mean? I honestly think if it was me promoting you and training you, I'd tell you to take a couple warm-ups if you can even do that because you're the champ. You know, and just fight your way back, man. You're a young guy. changes need to be made. That is a fact. I mean, you've definitely lost like power at the negotiation table, not just with Ryan, but if you get to sit down with Tank, if you get to sit down with Shakur Stevenson, if you get to sit down with Teofimo Lopez, you understand what I'm saying? You've lost a lot of negotiation power, and maybe even, I mean, I think your fans are going to be loyal because they're hella loyal to you. So let's just see. Like I can't predict the future. Obviously, nobody can. But it's going to be tough, man. Maybe you fight somebody like Jermaine Ortiz. That'll be I think that would be a great fight to watch, actually, to be honest with you. I think that'll be a great opportunity for Jermaine Ortiz. It'll be his third opportunity to become a champion. He's been robbed twice, maybe 3 times the trauma. I don't know. You know what I mean? Shout out to you, Jermaine, my fellow brother from Worcester, Mass. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys tonight. I just, I've been hearing this conversation over and over and over, and I'm just saying to myself, wow, man, this is really lingering. And granted, it brings views to the channel, and that's great for us. You know what I mean? I can talk about this all day long. But I think, at the same time, I'm such a fan of boxing that it's like, man, I kind of want everybody to let the kid revive himself. You know what I mean? Give him sort of a chance to not hear his name in social media. You know what I mean? I mean, this has got to be killing him. All the memes and the jokes and the, people making uploads to talk about what he's good at, what he's not good at. I mean, it's a lot. So shout out to you, Devin. I hope you're recovering well. I'm sure you'll be back, and we'll see what you can do. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment if you like the content, and until next time.